Net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers and governments regulating the internet must treat all data on the internet the same, not discriminating or charging differently by user, content, website, platform, application, type of attached equipment, or mode of communication. The reason I started the video with such a definition is to show you what the Federal Trade Commission, or the FCC for short, wants to abolish. This is basically our right to do whatever we want on the internet and use it how we wish, with little to no restrictions or premiums. Think of how much you go onto the internet and what you do. Maybe you check your email, maybe use it for research, whatever the reason, your freedom to do so is at risk if the FCC actually goes through with abolishing net neutrality. Imagine one day you wanted to go onto your favorite website, and instead of simply opening up the page and logging in, you get a message from your ISP or internet service provider. They inform you that the website is blocked unless you buy the super mega website bundle that allows access to this website. It would be absolutely absurd, and I'm sure you probably wouldn't be too happy about it, at least I wouldn't. Well, it could become a reality if the FCC does indeed abolish net neutrality. And don't think this affects only the consumers. No, it definitely applies to website owners and smaller companies who run their own websites too. You see, by putting a block behind websites that the ISPs decide that they want to put a block behind, they are by no means required to pay them a portion of the cut from the website premium. And so basically the website gets lower traffic because some people don't want to buy the premium, and the ISPs, the internet service providers, they get money, but the companies that run the websites, they're left in the dust. They can't do anything. They're just screwed with the lower traffic numbers. Now, according to some news outlets, smaller ISPs are hurt by net neutrality, and that's why they want to end it, because it seems for the most part that the bigger ISPs, they dominate the market with monopolies, while the smaller ISPs, they don't have a chance to get into the market unless they're local and they're the only ones in the area. Now, for the most part, I don't think this would help the smaller ISPs. It's likely that they don't succeed just because they're too small to compete with companies like Verizon and AT&T. So it would seem that it's really just Verizon and AT&T trying to make a quick buck by putting restrictions on websites and making the consumers suffer instead. And even if it really was affecting smaller ISPs in the end, I don't feel like paying extra money just so some local business can survive. It's their fault for making a poor investment in a company, not mine. Don't make it our problem, But that's just how I view it. So yeah, you can go ahead and call me spoiled for thinking that, but that's just how I personally view it. Now, for the most part, this just sounds like just an argument with governments about how they want to treat the internet. But the reason why this is such a big deal is because net neutrality is classified as a Title II. A utility, like electricity and water. The FCC wants to make it so that it's not an Act 2, and that way they can actually remove it, because while it's an Act 2, it's protected by several logistic laws that I'd rather not get into. If they indeed get it appealed, they will be able to completely abolish it, giving ISPs the complete right to just go in and put premiums on any websites that they want. And believe it or not, the FCC is actually taking public feedback about this right now. Yeah, you can actually tell them why you want to keep net neutrality a thing. I did it. I'd recommend that you do the same. This is a big deal when you think about it, because this is the government potentially taking away freedom on the internet. What if one day you woke up and you had to pay a premium to your internet service provider just to go on YouTube and watch this video? It's a pretty big deal. So I'd recommend that you do something. There's a link down in the description leading to Battle for the Net. Basically, they're one of the biggest, groups of people crying out for net neutrality to continue being a thing. And I highly recommend that you go down there. They have the tools that you need to send the FCC a public notice about why you want to keep net neutrality a thing. I highly recommend that you do this. You don't have to. It's just what I would personally do. Anyway, I know this was a bit of a different video from my standard, Team Fortress 2 video, but I think it was really nice to commentate about this and why net neutrality is a big deal. Anyway, this is Coffee Cup Carl, and I bid you farewell.